You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
It is 6:08 at WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast, and WSTU, Martin County's Heritage Station. Time for Small Biz Florida with Mr. Tom Kindred.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to another segment and installment of Small Biz Florida, the podcast and broadcast. It's all things business across the state of Florida and the Treasure Coast. Small Biz Florida is brought to you by the Florida Small Business Development Center Network and is produced by the Florida SBDC right here at Indian River State College. Small Biz Florida is designed and produced to highlight and promote business assistance resources, celebrate entrepreneurial success, present best practices, and most importantly, provide timely business information for Florida's small business community. I am Tom Kindred, your host and former small business owner and operator. I also serve as the regional director for the Florida SBDC right here at Indian River State College. Greg, how are you this evening?
Doing well.
All right. I understand we might have a football game tomorrow night live on WPSL.
High school football. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, good. I hope it comes to pass.
We lost our first game because of COVID, but hopefully, fingers crossed, equipment's all packed, ready to go.
Well, good. All right. I want to get started quickly because we have a standout guest with us tonight. Really looking forward to the conversation. We have our very good friend, Charlene Lyons, who serves as the CEO for the YMCA of the Treasure Coast. Welcome to Small Biz Florida, Charlene.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I feel like, Charlene, you and I go way back. Lots of conversations over the...
She's only 12.
Yes, I know. But we've been talking since 2020, and Charlene, I got to say, you and your team have done an incredible job of keeping a important program and resource going through some very tough times for what is a tough operation to keep going during a pandemic.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So I want to normally, folks, and we talked a little bit about it before we came on the air, but normally folks think of your organization sometimes is referred to YMCA of Martin County, but a lot of folks don't realize, but you really are responsible for all the YMCA operations across the Treasure Coast. So just start with a little background on yourself, and then maybe a little history of the Y.
Okay. I moved to Martin County in 1997, and the day after I moved here, I had been living in California, and I was a lifeguard and a swim instructor, and so I kind of asked around, well, where can you get a job with those types of skills? And they said, well, just go down to the Y. So I went down to the Y, and I said, I'm certified lifeguard, and I can teach swim lessons, and they hired me on the spot. So that is how I started my career at the YMCA way back when. So I just kind of, opportunity just continued to present itself. I moved up, I was the head lifeguard, I was a swim instructor, aquatics director, branch director, chief operating officer. Finally, this January, actually, I was named president CEO. So
congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes. And talk to us a little bit about the Y model. You are responsible for multiple operations.
Yes. So we are the YMCA of the Treasure Coast, as you said, which means that our service area, as it is referred to in the movement, is Martin, St. Lucie, Indian River, and Okeechobee counties. We currently have programs running in Martin, St. Lucie, and Okeechobee counties. We don't have any programs currently running in Indian River. However, pre-COVID, we did have a program running in Indian River County that was called Adventure Guides. It's basically a parent-child program, and they go through various different stages as it's typically a father-daughter program. So as the girls get older, and then at the end, it's kind of based on a Native American theme. So that program has not returned post-COVID. But in all of the other counties, we are running childcare in all 3 counties. And in Martin County, we do have a swimming pool. And so we're doing all of your traditional, what you would think of as YMCA programs. But what we like to say throughout the movement is if you've seen one YMCA, you've seen one YMCA. Everyone has a Y story and a Y experience, and it's different. You know, I've heard people, I learned to dance at the Y. You know, I learned public speaking at the Y. I did Boy Scouts at the Y. So
I had dance lessons at the Y.
okay. Yeah, I've heard that. Ballroom dancing at the YMCA.
Nice.
Okay. But so what's unique about the YMCA as a nonprofit is that we can kind of look at the community around us, talk to them, see what they need, and then reflect that service back to them. So one of the good things about the Y through this pandemic is we were able to look at our community, say what do they need right now, and we were able to just pivot. There's no red tape. You know, the decision is made locally, so we're just able to make those decisions and provide those services for the community.
Wow, that's excellent point. What does the YMCA, as you refer to it, mothership look like? Is there's a national organization that's called the YMCA?
Yes. So the YMCA is a federated organization. So, and the YMCA. We didn't even say what it stands for.
No, I just think of the song. That's all I think of.
Yeah.
So, what does the YMCA stand for?
So YMCA stands for Young Men's Christian Association.
Okay, that's right.
Which you wouldn't know that looking at me,
right?
Because I am a girl. But so it was founded back in the 1800s in industrialized London as a Bible study, because that's what that community needed at the time. And now I forget the question.
The question simply was, what does the
mothership.
The mothership.
Okay. So YMCA of the USA is
Right.
located in Chicago. And so they're kind of our governing body as far as, they create the brand, those types of things. They, decide which kind of fonts we can use, the images that we can use, those types of things. General governance things for the YMCA, like we have to have certain aquatic standards, we have to have certain child abuse prevention standards, those types of things.
Right.
We have to participate in the YMCA retirement fund, things like that. But we actually pay up to Chicago as an organization to be a part of that. Right. So people will sometimes say, well, why can't you just pop a YMCA out of the ground? Well, the community that is being served by that YMCA has to support that YMCA.
Right. Nice. But to your point a couple of minutes ago, all decisions are made locally, no red tape. You guys can respond. You're flexible, nimble, and respond to the community. And, I guess when all of us think of the Ys, we think of those traditional youth programs, but you guys, especially down at your Martin County facility, very innovative with programming. I mean, talk a little bit about some of the newer and programming that we may not know about, like you say, like dance lessons of sort. What are some of the things you do that aren't necessarily what we would think of as textbook Y?
Okay, so one of our programs that we have that probably no one has really heard of, it is called Youth in Government. So it's a civics program, and their main kind of idea is we debate ideas and not people. So they're not partisan at all. And this program is running in all middle schools and high schools in Martin County. And it's a civics course, and it teaches kids all about civics and how their government works. And they work on it all school year. We partner with the Martin County School District, and they write laws. And we have actually had some of our students that have actually their laws have been taken down to Tallahassee and actually made into law. Wow. So that's a program that you would think, oh, basketball, but you wouldn't think that there's actually youth out there affecting legislation in our state.
Wow. Talk about your staff. I mean, you do have a wide and diverse team at the Y of the Treasure Coast. Talk a little bit about staffing.
Yes. So we have, at our high, we have about 200 employees.
Wow.
Yes, and diversity and inclusion is something that the YMCA as a movement is we're very proud of that. So I have staff, as young as 15 and up into their 80s. So
Greg,
Hey,
I'm
doors
thinking-
open for us.
My new career, yes. At the Y.
Your new career.
Have you got applications on you? Oh.
I do have applications.
Well, that's part of the reason Greg and I do the show. We're always looking for opportunities.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have many different employees from many different demographics. Again, because we like to hire the staff locally so that they're more reflective of the community that they're in. We have a branch in Indiantown, so I would say 99% of the staff that work in Indiantown live in Indiantown. So we're happy to be able to provide that opportunity for those people in that community.
And I'm assuming the Y plays a major role for a lot of families in the counties that you serve. After school, a lot of working parents utilize the Y. How was that all affected during COVID? Were you able to continue to provide those kinds of critical services so that people could continue to work? And so how did all that work out?
I am so glad you asked. We were one of 6 facilities in the state that were able to stay open throughout the pandemic to provide essential child care to those frontline workers that were out, police, fire, nurses, doctors, those types of people. We were able to stay open to provide childcare for them so that they could, we kind of looked around going, well, what can we do? The gyms were closed, but we still had childcare. So we were still able to provide childcare knowing that the economy needed to continue. These people needed to go to work. So we were able to, we never closed throughout the entire pandemic for childcare for essential workers.
Nice. And what about financial issues with the Y? Obviously, you work off probably membership, and I'm certain that you, like most nonprofits, probably have some events throughout the years. How tough a year 2020 and 2021 was it on your financials?
So it wasn't as bad as we anticipated it to be. We were able to really do some expense trimming due to the facility being closed and, that sort of thing. But we were able to, cover all of our bills, pay all of our staff and those types of things. But what makes the YMCA unique as a nonprofit is we do have a revenue stream in membership and programs. We do still depend on fundraising to provide scholarships for those families that otherwise would not be able to afford those programs and services. So we do ask, private donors, foundations, grants, those types of things to contribute to the Y. We do have a couple of events. One that you may have heard of, it's pretty famous around these parts, is the YMCA Easter House.
Sure,
Yes.
you bet.
Yeah. So that has been going on for 34 years. This will be year 35. And that program is it may not be self-evident, but, to me it's very self-evident that we sell tickets for a raffle to win a house, a whole entire house.
Right.
Like the lot, the driveway, the garage, the whole thing.
That's a pretty valuable prize nowadays.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So we use that event as a fundraiser for scholarships for families, youth families, seniors to participate in YMCA programs.
Nice.
And as it kind of is self-explanatory, the Easter House is drawn, the winning ticket is drawn the Thursday before Easter.
Nice. Okay. What about your involvement with the local schools? You talked about partnering with schools. Is the Y kind of embedded with most of the school systems across the Treasure Coast?
So we participate with youth and government at Martin County School District. And then in Okeechobee and St. Lucie County, we do run after-school programs inside of schools. So in their cafeteria or classrooms or whatever space that they have available to provide that service to those families. So we are partnering with all the school boards everywhere we can.
Okay. So before because I always forget as we get close to the end here, how does one find out more about the Y? How would someone look at the website, find locations? Because obviously there are multiple locations
Yes.
across the Treasure Coast.
Yes.
How does one learn all about what's going on at the Y?
Well, you can find us on our website at www.ymcatreasurecoast.org or on any of our social media platforms, which would be Facebook and Instagram.
And do you have any events that are coming up at this point? And what's kind of the status at this point with the Ys? You're open, still trying to remain safe in terms of distancing and things of that nature, but you're open and functioning?
Yes, we are open. Our membership is not all the way back to where it was pre-COVID. We're still at about a 30% reduction in membership, but we're at, as I looked before I came here, because I thought you might ask me, we have 1,788 units.
Wow.
For members, which a unit could be one person, it could be 6 people. So that number kind of totals out to be roughly 5,000
Wow.
members. And we have many more participants than that. But we do have an event coming up on October 9th, which is called The Amazing Race. Very akin to the TV show The Amazing Race, where teams go around to local businesses and complete a task, and then whoever gets done first wins.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool. It does sound like the TV show.
Yeah. Then another really cool thing we have going on in November is a family campout at our Martin County location, where families are going to come actually put up a tent. They're going to sleep in it at our facility.
Wow.
We have the Martin County Sheriff's Office is barbecuing. We're going to have a morning yoga session. We're going to
That's
have a
very
family
cool.
swim time.
What are the events? What are the dates for that event again?
That is November 6th and 7th.
Wow.
Yes. So the Boy Scouts are running the fire, so we'll know it will be safe.
And we'll know it'll get started.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's right.
That's right. I guess in closing, our show here, Small Biz Florida, is kind of dedicated to business, and while you are a nonprofit and you're doing great, important things for the community, you still are a business, and that's kind of how we started our conversation.
That's right.
Last year. But what are some of the challenges that you face as an executive director running a nonprofit along the Treasure Coast?
So currently, my biggest challenge is staff.
Wow.
Finding staff, finding qualified staff, keeping and maintaining staff is kind of my largest challenge.
Well, I think obviously you share that with for-profits, nonprofits.
Correct.
Stand in line.
Yes.
Right. And for you, like any business, staffing's critical. You've got 100 kids showing up this afternoon. You need adults.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
So I guess you've been a little more proactive. You reached out. You've used some of the services, and kind of your thoughts on taking advantage of services like the SBDC.
The SBDC has been really great. When I reached out to you, Tom, I was looking to kind of start my strategic plan. You put me in touch with Tom Epsky. We got the meeting together, and I brought my board in, and we had a great session. And we've taken that back to our governance committee. We're working on kind of the action steps, and then once we have it a little more nailed down, we're going to bring it back to you guys just to help us get through the end.
Well, again, we appreciate you recognizing and using the services, and certainly beyond that, we appreciate you and your entire team for what the Y does for families all across the Treasure Coast.
Thank you.
It's great work.
It's our pleasure.
So real quick, one more time, website, phone number.
Website is www.ymcatreasurecoast.org, or you can call us at 772-286-4444.
All right. It is Charlene Lyons, standout CEO of the YMCA Treasure Coast. Again, thank you, and thank your team for all you do.
Thank you.
With that, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us for more Small Biz Florida right here from WPSL and WSTU.